After they said goodbye to Princess, Cloudtail went off to hunt, leaving Firestar to return to the camp alone. Twilight was gathering by the time he reached the ravine, and he scented Whitestorm before he spotted the pale warrior ahead of him. Firestar caught up to him just before he reached the gorse tunnel. He had a bowl clamped in his jaws and set it down when he saw Firestar. "I was hoping for a word with you," he began, without even waiting for a greeting, "and it's best out here where no cat will overhear us." Firestar's heart lurched. "What's the matter? Has something gone wrong?" "You mean apart from Scourge?" The older warrior meowed wryly. He settled himself on a flat rock and beckoned with his tail for Firestar to join him. "No, nothing's wrong. The patrols and the training are going well. But I keep asking myself, have we really thought about what we're doing?" Firestar stared at him. "What do you mean?" The ThunderClan deputy took a deep, painful breath. "Scourge and his clan outnumber us by many, even with WindClan fighting on our side. I know our warriors will fight to the last drop of blood to save the forest, but perhaps the price would be too high." "Are you saying we should give in?" Firestar's voice was sharpened. He had never expected to hear advice like this from his deputy. If Whitestorm's courage hadn't been beyond question, he would have said it was the speech of a coward. "Leave the forest?" "I don't know." Whitestorm sounded tired, and Firestar was suddenly reminded of his age. "Things are changing, no cat can deny that. And perhaps it's time to move on. There must be territory beyond Highstones. We could find another place—" "Never!" Firestar interrupted. "The forest is ours." "You're young." Whitestorm looked solemnly at him. "You would see it that way. The cats are going to die, Firestar." "I know." All day Firestar had kept busy, encouraging his warriors and himself with thoughts of a victory over Scourge. Now Whitestorm was forcing him to face the fact that even if they won, it would be at a terrible cost. ThunderClan might drive the invading cats from the forest and still be left with few survivors, as weakened as if they had been defeated. "We must go on," he meowed. "We can't turn tail and run like mice." "You're right, Whitestorm. I know you are. But what other choice have we? It can't be the will of StarClan for us to leave the forest." Whitestorm nodded. "I thought you would say that. Well, I've told you what I think. That's what a deputy's for." "I'm grateful for it, Whitestorm." White Warrior rose to his paws, turned toward his vole, and then glanced back at Firestar. "I've never had the kind of ambition that drove Tigerstar, or you," he meowed. "I've never wanted to be leader, but I'm particularly glad I'm not leader now. No sane cat would envy you the decisions you have to make." Firestar blinked, not knowing what to say. "All I hope for," Whitestorm went on, "is that I'll fight my hardest when the time comes." A shadow of uncertainty crossed his face, and Firestar realized that many cats would have joined the elders by Whitestorm's age. It would be natural for him to fear that his fighting strength might fail. "I know you will," he agreed. "There's no nobler warrior in the whole forest." Whitestorm held his gaze for a long moment, saying nothing. Then he picked up his bowl and padded into the camp. Firestar stayed on the rock. Whitestorm's words had disturbed him, and he was suddenly reluctant to go back into the camp and settle in his shadowy den under the high rock. He knew he wouldn't be able to sleep. After a few moments, listening to the soft sounds of the gathering night, Firestar rose and headed back up the ravine. Faint red streaks showed where the sun had gone down, but overhead the sky was dark, and a few early warriors of StarClan looked down at him. Firestar slipped silently through the undergrowth, and it was some time before he realized that his paws were taking him toward Sunny Rock. By the time he reached the edge of the trees, it was completely dark. The rounded shapes of the rocks were outlined against the sky like the backs of a crouching animal, with a shimmer of frost on the surface. Beyond them he could hear the soft bubble of the river over stones, and much closer a faint scuffling noise alerted him to the presence of prey. Firestar's mouth watered as he identified the scent of mouse. Barely letting his paws touch the ground, he crept up on it and sprang. He hadn't realized how hungry he was. His jaws closed on it, and he finished it in a few ravenous gulps. Feeling better, Firestar sprang up to the top of the rock and found a place where he could sit and look out on the river. The dark water glittered with starlight. A breeze ruffled the surface, buffeting his fur and stirring the leaves of the forest around him. Firestar turned his gaze upward to Silverpelt. The warriors of StarClan were watching, but they seemed cold and far away in this frosty night. Did they really care about what happened in the forest? Or had Bluestar been right all along? When she raged against them in her private war, for a moment, Firestar caught a glimpse of his former leader's terrible sense of isolation. He could not truly share it, for unlike Bluestar, he had never lost faith in the warriors of his own clan, but he was beginning to understand how she had come to doubt StarClan. So many cats had already died in Tiger Star's fierce struggle for power, and StarClan had not saved them. Firestar wondered if he was being foolish to think that his warrior ancestors would help him now. But without StarClan, how could his clan survive? Lifting his head, he yowled to the glory of Silverfelt. "Show me what I should do! Show me that you're with us!" No answer came from the white fire above him. Painfully aware of how small and weak he was compared with the sky spread StarClan, Firestar found a hollow in the rock that was sheltered from the chill breeze. He did not expect to sleep, but he was exhausted, and after a while his eyes closed. He dreamed that he was seated in trees, his senses lulled by the warm air and the sweet scents of green leaf. The warriors of StarClan surrounded him on all four slopes, as they had done on his visit to the Moonstone, when he received his 9 lives of a clan leader. He saw Spotted Leaf and Yellowfang there, and all the warriors who were lost to ThunderClan, as well as others, newly added to the shining ranks, Stonefur and the young apprentice Gorsepaw. In his dream, Firestar sprang to his paws and confronted them. For the first time, he did not feel in awe of his warrior ancestors. It seemed as if they had abandoned him and the whole forest to their terrifying fate. "You rule the forest!" hissed Firestar, letting all his anger and betrayal spill out. "You sent the storm the night of the gathering so that I couldn't tell the clans what Tigerstar had done. You allowed him to bring Scourge into the forest. Why are you doing this to us? Do you want us to be destroyed?" A familiar figure stepped forward. Bluestar's gray-blue fur shimmered in the starshine, and her eyes were blue fire. "Firestar, you don't understand," she meowed. "StarClan do not rule the forest." Firestar gaped at her with nothing to say. Was everything wrong, then, that he had learned since he came into the forest as a kitty pet so long ago? "StarClan cares for every cat in the forest," Bluestar continued, "from the blind, helpless kit to the oldest elder laying in the sun. We watch over them. We send omens and dreams to the medicine cats. But the storm was no doing of ours. Scourge and Tigerstar wade through blood to power because that's their nature. We watch," the former leader repeated, "but we do not interfere. If we did, would you truly be free, Firestar? You and every cat have the choice of whether or not to follow the warrior code. You are not the playthings of StarClan." "But," Firestar tried to interrupt, Bluestar ignored him. "And now we're watching you. You are the cat we have chosen, Firestar. You are the fire who will save the clan. No warrior of StarClan brought you here. You came of your own accord because you have warrior spirit in the heart of a true clan cat. Your faith in StarClan will give you the strength you need." As she spoke, a sense of peace crept over Firestar. He felt as though Bluestar's strength and the strength of all the warriors of StarClan were flowing into him. Whatever happened when his clan met BloodClan in battle, Firestar knew StarClan had not abandoned them. Bluestar rested her muzzle on his head, just as he had done the day he was made a warrior. At her touch, the pale fire of the assembled warriors began to fade, and Firestar sank into the warm darkness of deep sleep. When he opened his eyes, it was to see the first light of dawn staining the sky. Firestar rose and stretched, the memory of his dream filling his paws with energy. It was his duty as leader to save his clan, and with the strength of StarClan to help him, he would find a way to do it.